and the color became normal. The pain faded, and her finger looked whole. But of course that was only the way it seemed. The damage remained under the spell. Only the despots could do the potent magic. She walked on out of the village and up the path to her house, which was nestled a bit apart. At first she had not understood why, but later she had learned it was because of the secret. Her folks had made this isolated house and moved here 20 years ago in anticipation of her presence. Now she understood how wise a decision that had been. Her mother was weeding beans in the garden beyond the house. Nona realized with a small shock that the woman looked old. She was in her 50s, having gotten Nona late, and now seemed to be aging more rapidly than she should. Nona felt a pang of guilt, suspecting why that would be. Stooped shoulders, gray hair, deep facial lines, yet the goodness of her shone through the fading shell of her body. Nona hurried out to her. "A boy bit my finger," she explained as she approached. "The headmaster sent me home to get it tended. I made a spell to hide it." The woman took the proffered hand. She touched the finger, and there was no pain. She had no magic of this sort, but much experience of the natural kind. "This one?" she inquired with a lift of one brow. "Yes, he bit so hard he tore my flesh. The headmaster made a transfer spell, so the brat got the pain instead of me, but I still have the injury. I hope it won't hurt my playing." "Child, this finger is not injured," the woman said. "I covered it with illusion," Nona reminded her. "I think you did more than that." Startled, Nona looked at her finger. She flexed it. There was no discomfort. She touched it with her other hand and found no injury. She lifted her eyes to meet her mother's gaze. "But—" "I believe you," her mother said. "You are maturing." Nona fell in beside her and helped pull weeds. They did not speak much because it was never possible to be certain that a despot wasn't magically listening, but they had long experience at communication with minimal speech. Nona remembered how her magic had gradually come upon her. As a child, she had learned to convert her peas porridge to sweet pudding, and thought that others did the same. Later, she learned that their conversions were mere illusion, while hers were actual. Similarly, when she conjured a living bird to her hand, it was real, while others fashioned only the semblance. Her mother had cautioned her to restrict herself to illusion whenever in company, and not to tell anyone of her abilities. This was because only the despots were supposed to practice significant magic, and a Theo who did it would be in peril. The despots used magic to suppress the Theos and reacted fiercely to any conceivable challenge. So it was that Nona had lived, if not a lie, a charade. She could do significant magic, but no one knew. No one except her mother. Not even her father, though perhaps he suspected. Actually, they were not her birth parents. They had somehow known that they would have a changeling and had prepared for it. When their only baby was born, they had taken him out at night to the town meeting house and left him. Before dawn, they had returned and taken the changeling, Nona. Who were her natural parents? Nona did not know. But she did know this. She was the 9th born of the 9th generation, the 9th of the 9th. That was what accounted for her magic. And she was the one who might have the power to rid fair Oriah of the despots, according to the legend, if she could only discover how. That was why she had had to be hidden. Had the despots known there was a 9th of a 9th, they would have raised whole villages to destroy that baby. So her natural parents had given away an early baby, hiding the fact that it had ever been born, in this manner reducing the count. Then, when they birthed the 9th, it was reckoned as the 8th, and they did not have a 9th. That 8th was then exchanged for another, so that if the despots became suspicious, they could verify that there was no special magic in that boy. The magic was in the lost one, Nona. Nona, called Anna, so that the significance of her real name would not give her nature away, for her name meant 9th born. The people did not know, but the body did. The magic was in her, and it was growing. To all others, she seemed to be the first and only child of her mother, who had had difficulties in her birthing and could not bear another. There was no magical thread in a firstborn Theo.